Davis Schneider joins the program, the Blue Jays all-star hopeful slash the Blue Jay that we're pushing to get to Arlington. And we brought that up and he was very humble about it. It's like the Lisan Al Gaib thing in Dune. It's like it further proves that he's the Lisan Al Gaib because he doesn't think that he is the Lisan Al Gaib. Jack, Aram, Just Baseball Show. Happy July, everybody. Wake up, say rabbit, rabbit. July 1. We also are going to run through the weekend roundup with the finger twirl, and then you've got 45 minutes
Yeah.
of Davis Schneider, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And I know that this is a guy that you've gotten to know really well, and
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job showing how much he enjoys playing baseball to the masses with this.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun because, I think you can tell why I quickly enjoyed my conversations with Davis. Like he's a very thoughtful baseball player, but also is really good at compartmentalizing the struggles that come with the game and putting things in perspective. And like there were a lot of things that he said there that I think will resonate with people, whether it's just your everyday life, your job, and how you balance the struggles or challenges that come with that, and just kind of life in general. And yeah, I always appreciate we had him on the call up and now, having him on the Just Baseball Show, how open and candid he is. And I mean, a perfect example is the All-Star side of things where we're talking about how his family's campaigning for him on social media. And he's like, I'm slumping right now, dude. Like my OPS is getting into the like low 700s. I'm not an All-Star. And like, we don't care. The Royals fans voted 8 like Royals in when they were in that stretch of making the World Series and playing
Alcides
really well.
Escobar was the
Yeah,
shortstop
yeah.
for the American League. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't care. We want you in there, and hopefully he gets hot here and picks up a little bit more because we know when he gets hot, he's one of the hottest hitters on the planet when he gets rolling. Like there's not many hitters that can really turn into a microwave the way he does. But really fun conversation, a lot of really valuable insight, and a lot of just what goes into being a big league hitter. I think that I think people will really enjoy.
No doubt. No doubt. We are going to jump into the weekend roundup here in a moment, but before that, have to key you in on this incredible opportunity that you have. No, but we're actually really excited because the All-Star game and the festivities around it are always a landmark event during the Major League Baseball season. But this year's All-Star break just got that much bigger for us. We're super excited to be hosting our first ever live baseball collectibles charity option that's hosted exclusively on eBay Live during Major League All-Star Weekend 2024. It's a 2-day event, Sunday the 14th, Monday the 15th. So leading up to the draft and leading up to the Home Run Derby at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central from Play Ball Sports Cards and Memorabilia in Arlington, which is a couple-minute walk away from Globe Life Field and the All-Star Fan Fest. And again, it's streaming live on eBay Live. The auction, it's streamed exclusively on eBay Live and will be benefiting various charities like Conine's Clubhouse, Jeff Conine's charitable arm, the Baseball Island Foundation, and more. Auctioned items include cards, memorabilia, other collectibles from brands like CGC Cards, Onyx Authenticated, Bleecker Trading, Homage, and more. I'm personally fired up about the Onyx Vintage set available. It features autos from Paul Skeens, Travis Bazzana, Charlie Condon, Chase Burns, and about
Yeah,
10 more top flight draft prospects, but we got to get Skeens in there, right? All
yeah.
three of us are going to be there. We'd love for you to come by and say hello and enter to win exclusive event merch and giveaways if you're in the Dallas area. But this event is best experienced online at eBay Live. So we'd love to interact with you in there. Again, July 14 and 15, 4 o'clock Eastern in Arlington at Play Ball Sports Cards and Memorabilia and exclusively on eBay Live. We cannot wait to see you there, both in Arlington and on eBay Live. This is going to be a fun thing, man. And this is like kind of the first thing that we've ever done like this.
Yeah, and we're collecting a lot of really cool stuff to auction off. I know Jeff is going to give us some cool memorabilia as well. He's got a ton. Good timing with him, I think, moving as well. He's cleaning out the ridiculous memorabilia room that he has over there, and I know he has some stuff for us too. I'm going to throw some stuff in there. We have a lot of really awesome things that people just all over the industry have been so generous to donate to us for this auction. So there's some really cool stuff that you could have a chance to win. And even if you don't want to spend any money, just come and hang out and, watch us auction off cool things and see how much it goes for. And we'll just hang out and talk ball as the All-Star weekend gets rolling.
Yeah, come see the cool shit that like people somehow trusted us to auction off. And like, hey, Godspeed to us. I'm looking forward to seeing how we handle it.
Yes.
I'm fired up about that, but I'm also fired up about the weekend roundup. You
Yes.
start, you've got 7 series. I've got, I think, 8, but you had 3 4 gamers. I think I also had 3 4 gamers. Where do you want to start us?
Are you trying to say that you had more work than me? Is that where you're trying to like subtly just get in there?
A little bit, man. I
Yeah,
just
no,
wanted to throw that in just a teensy bit.
I appreciate how much more effort you put in.
I'm a martyr. Yeah. Think about those 3 minutes that it took for you to
The
do that
extra
series.
4 game series.
Think about the extra 3 minutes. No, we each had the same number of 4 game series. And
Oh,
like I have Sunday Night Baseball. I have that series as well. So think about the extra 2 games that
not
I
even
missed.
done.
That 3 game, thing that took you maybe 4 minutes. I did that plus one. So
Wow.
I just want that to sit with you for a minute. But what's your first series that you want to go over?
Well, as I process that,
Yeah.
Marlins Phillies 2-2. Who would have thought? Couple really funny things about this. But first of all, Christopher Sanchez, since the extension, I mean, he's been great nonstop, but like even better, I think, since he got the extension, he goes complete game shutty in game 2. But the Marlins actually won game 1. So I'll walk you through the 4 games. Marlins win the first game 7-4. Phillies win the next game 2-0. That was that Christopher Sanchez complete game shutty. Marlins squeeze out a 3-2 win in game 3, and then they blow it late in game 4. They could have easily taken that series. Phillies come back and win 7-6 on the back of a Tim Anderson unfortunate error. Couple interesting things. Sanchez, 101 pitch, complete game shutout.
Yeah.
The Marlins ended up actually getting to Ranger Suarez in game 4, which is very surprising. That's why baseball is so wild. Like brought his ERA up to like 2.4 or whatever it is. They end up losing that game though. So the Marlins are now 4-26 in games started by left-handed pitchers. I know they got to Ranger in that one, but 4-26 in games started by southpaws. It's insane.
That's not great.
Not good. They should. It's pretty remarkable, actually. They're not that bad against righties. The big stories in this series, though, unfortunately, Bryce Harper goes down, hamstring issue in game 1. Apparently, not nearly as bad as they feared it to be. Especially when he said, "I've never really felt anything like this."
Yeah.
Fortunately,
You never want to hear that.
never want to hear that. Never. But it just sometimes when you really first get that hamstring pull, like it does feel like something you've never really felt before. And then Schwarber, it sounds like a more minor injury as well. But that said, I think it was very clear up until game 4 that it can be difficult for the Phillies offense to get rolling when you don't have Schwarber and you don't have Harper. But Trey Turner and some of the other folks kind of picked up the slack there, and they end up salvaging the split in that series.
Yeah. It was the Harper thing that jumped out to me in that series. Also, like Ranger Suarez against the Marlins. Like how do you not? You remember the no-hitter alert that Amsinger put us on for Yamamoto against the Marlins? Like with knowing what we knew, and Peter had brought that up when the number was 3, when the win total was 3 against left-handed pitching, and I was just like, I mean, isn't that no-hitter alert? And the fact that he, kind of saw a blip in the radar there was crazy to me.
Bizarre. I would have bet some money on him going 7+ innings, and he didn't. That's why baseball is the sport that it is. You got to play the games, which is so great. And I think that leads me right into the next series, which is the Royals and the Guardians. We're just eulogizing the Royals to a degree, right? Like, oh, they're slowing down. What's going on? I don't know if this is going to last. They're too top heavy, blah, blah, blah. They take 3 out of 4 against Cleveland. And I mean, I hate calling any series win huge in June, but given that the deadline is coming up and given that the Royals had been hitting a bit of a wall, absolutely, I think it was a huge 3 out of 4 win here in the series. Royals took the first game of the series 2-1. Next game, they win 10-3, just dominate that one. They dropped the third game 7-2. Unfortunately, Tristan McKenzie, not great in that one. More on that in a moment. And then game 4, they pick up the big win 6-2. Couple of the themes here for me. Salvador Perez balled. I can shut the hell up about him slowing down. 5 hits, 2 homers in the series. It wasn't a great series for Bobby Witt, but really carried them in the last game. Unfortunately, the only really tough one was Tristan McKenzie getting teed off on, and that was game 2. I think I misspoke on that one. It was game 2 where McKenzie got teed off on, but
Yeah,
if I think I have that right. Unfortunately, just doesn't look great. We've talked about it early in the year where they were saying he's basically pitching through some actual issues there with the elbow.
a partial tear.
And part of me is like, why are we not just letting this guy get right? Maybe that's why they're sending him to AAA, to just not fully shut down and get stiff, but maybe to manage innings. Or it's because of a performance thing. Regardless, if it is a performance thing, I'd like to just maybe see him slow down a little bit, but that's maybe for another time. Unfortunately, he goes to AAA. Gavin Williams comes up. the Royals pitching has just been so good. They held to the Guardians to 3 or less runs in every game, except for the game started by Cole Reagans, which is, again, just a reminder that baseball is so weird.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo, dominant again. 6 scoreless, 10 Ks. ERA's down to 2.17. We really got to start talking about this guy as a Cy Young candidate now as we're moving forward here. But I mean, really, I think the theme was the Royals. Who would have thought we're talking about a pitching centric Royals team right now? And clearly, again, if one of Salvador, Bobby Wood, or both are performing, they end up really being in a good spot.
Yeah. So my 3 takeaways from this series were Lugo, which I'm glad you mentioned. I think he leads Major League Baseball in ERA. Like as soon as the start finished up, I think he is the league leader in earned run average, American League or National League. So like, yes, he should absolutely be the Cy Young. I don't want to say favorite because I know what Burns is doing, but like, man, he should really be up there. And I know that Houck was viewed at maybe in a higher regard than Lugo. We can't do that anymore. And I know Houck went through a blow up, and I think you'll hit on that a little bit. But like, man, Lugo is arguably a top 3 pitcher in baseball this year, and maybe the best pitcher in the American League this year. John Kensey Noel hit an 115-mile-an-hour homer. That was important. Like, I mean, holy shit, man. But yeah, McKenzie, I'm glad that Gavin Williams is back healthy, but that was kind of crazy to see McKenzie. But I guess their other option was DFA Carrasco, and they weren't going to do that.
Yeah, and again, I hope it's more of just like a hey, let's just throw like 1 to 2 innings out there, and just kind of get healthier and feel a little bit better, and manage those innings. I'm hoping that that's why they sent him down. But Gavin Williams will be a nice reinforcement to add to the fold. But it is pretty unfortunate to see, and a little bit surprising. He tweeted an emoji like a sad face and a couple days ago, and I guess it was kind of just on the heels of kind of knowing what might be coming or because of the performance. Did we figure out what game it was? I'd assume it was game 2.
I thought it was
I don't know
game
why. I don't know
Friday.
why I didn't have that, but regardless, he struggled. Only 2 innings, I think 5 runs in that one.
Yeah.
Yankees Jays, they split, and it was kind of like it was like a battle of 2 teams that really don't deserve to win ball games right
Yeah.
now. Is kind of how I looked at it. Game 1, Rodon gets crushed. The Blue Jays take that one 9-2. Weird stat line where you get 10 hits and 8 earned runs against Rodon, but he also punches out 8. So there's a silver lining there where the stuff is still kind of there, but man, he's just getting shellacked.
I wouldn't
Game
say
2,
I wouldn't say silver lining for him because he was crying in the dugout.
I
Like,
know. I
yeah,
know. I feel for him. And I think that's deeper than just, oh, I'm pitching bad, I'm crying. Like there's more to that. So don't clown him. I've heard a lot of people clowning him. Like
don't do that.
guy's been through hell and back. It's a little bit deeper, I think, than I'm pitching bad, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Game 2, Yankees win that 16-5. It was closer than that and then really got out of hand late. But I mean, it was nice to see the Yankees bats kind of come back alive again. Aaron Judge has been the story of really the whole season, but of course, again, in the series as well. More on that in a moment. But again, blitz the Blue Jays 16-5. Jays bounce right back, win the next game 9-3. And again, this is an example of, I think, just teams just taking turns playing terribly. And then game 4, you get the Yankees winning that one 8-1. Couple things, couple notes here. I owe IKF an apology, and I owe the Blue Jays an apology for the IKF signing because I clown that. 7 hits in this series. He has been awesome. He's up to like 292, and he's a great defender. Obviously, he's accumulating WAR left and right. 7 hits and 2 homers for Judge in this series, which is absurd. Cole looks like he's back too, which is huge. And that was in this game 4 where Cole bounces back 5 innings, 1 earned run. Opposite of him, though, a tough matchup for Gosman because the Yankees do historically hit him well, but Gosman just gets knocked around again,
Yeah,
and
like,
it's starting to get very concerning.
like 5 walks, dude. I understand 7 hits and like 7 runs. It's a blow up, but like you can say, okay, it's all right, I guess, at the end of the day. Kevin Gosman can't be walking 5. Like
Yep.
Gosman wasn't doing that. He punched out what the first 45 guys before he, walked his first hitter. I think that was last year, maybe 22 as well. But he was on that crazy run, man. Like the whole thing is he punches guys out, he doesn't allow homers, and he doesn't walk people. And now he's walking people. He's allowing more homers than he typically does. And like it's really concerning. I'm at an
Very.
8 or a
And
9.
and remember, he entered this year with some shoulder issues and delayed his start. And I wonder if he's just not totally feeling like himself this year. And he is, well on the other side of 30, into his mid 30s at this point. Vladdy is ridiculous at this point. He's on another planet. 8 for 16 in the series, homered in 3 out of 4 games, 6 extra base hits. in that series, a couple moonshots. He has been awesome. And it seems like things are really clicking for Vladdy. One other kind of narrative aspect of this, Stroman shows up Gleyber Torres a little bit on a
Mhm.
double play ball that I really thought Gleyber turned totally normally and pretty quickly. Later, Gleyber homers. Stroman was the first out of the dugout to greet him and high five him. But I think there's a theme here. Stroman will show you up on the mound a little bit. Wasn't like he threw well in his start, anyways. Gleyber does heat up a little bit in this series, something that they need badly over there in New York. He needs to be swinging it better for them to really have a chance with DJ and some of the other guys struggling.
Yeah, the mark of a true leader, right? Be first out of the dugout after you bitch somebody out for doing their job, and I think appropriately.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Um,
it's funny, if the roles were reversed, Marcus Stroman probably would have blocked Glaber.
yeah,
So,
that
it's
can be a thing. I view it as a tapping of the cymbal, where the sound gets louder and louder and louder, because we have seen a lot of defensive issues from Gleyber Torres recently.
yes.
We've also seen him not leg out some balls that like he
Yep.
could make tight that weren't tight. So maybe it was like him not getting the benefit of the doubt, but that was really bizarre to see from Stroman and like totally unwarranted in the moment.
Yeah, and Judge kind of came to his defense there. So, I do agree. I think it was kind of like a tapping of the drum thing where it just growing and growing and growing with the frustration because you can control effort, and when you're not performing, the effort's that much more important.
Yeah.
Nationals race. I mean, this was kind of one that I think no one was really paying attention to. I wasn't for the most part, but Jose Siri homers twice in game one. Rays take that one 3-1. They ultimately win the series 2 out of 3. They drop the next game though 8-1, and then win the final game of the series 5-0. Jose Siri's 2 homers in game one were really impressive. Some ridiculous pimp jobs there, and I tweeted this, but like Carlos Gomez ran so Jose Siri could walk. Uh, it's similar pimp jobs, similar antics. I love it. It's fun, but I think he needs to pay a little homage to the GOAT Carlos Gomez there. Zach Eflin had one of his best starts of the season. That's absolutely huge for them if they're going to have any chance to get back into this thing. They did lose the Mitchell Parker start, but Mitchell Parker continues to look really solid for the Nationals as well. Game 2, Abrams goes deep. He's starting to slug again. Jake Irvin, what is that guy on, by the way? 1 hit, 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched. The only earned run came on a Brandon Lau homer. Irvin's ERA is down to 1.98 over his last 7 starts. And then in game 3, Taj Bradley is here, dude.
Yes.
5 2/3, no runs, 11 Ks for the Rays. I know we talk about not loving to play this game, but I think it's valid here. If you remove the 1 blow-up start for Taj Bradley, he has a 2.08 ERA and 8 starts at the big league level this season. And in that game 5, Paredes, Arozarena, always huge, and Caballero, all homer. You love to see that as well.
Isaac Paredes was a single shy of the cycle. By the way, he's doubling up Josh Naylor in WAR. But Taj Bradley, I'm with you. I watched this and I've checked in on Boz's numbers over his last couple of starts in Durham, and I'm like, they've got their electric arms again, and they have 5 years of control of Bradley. They have 5 years of control, maybe 4 years of control of Shane Boz. And man, like the Rays are at it again. And opening day next year, we're going to see a front three because I assume Eflin's not going to be on the roster because he's going to get expensive. We're going to see a front three in that rotation of McClanahan, Boz, and Bradley. And I'm
Yep.
going to be all the way bought in on Tampa again.
Yep. Rinse and repeat. They can't be bad 2 years in a row if it doesn't work this year. I'm with you. I think they're going to get themselves in a good spot. Boz continues to look great in AAA. More on that on the call up, and probably later on in the week. But Pirates Braves was fun, and ultimately Braves take 2 out of 3. Game 1, Braves win 6-1. Charlie Morton also turned in one of his best starts of the season in this one. I think it probably was his best start of the season. 6 scoreless, 7 Ks, 1 walk. Game 2, Braves win 2-1. Skeens also just does it again. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 9 Ks. The 1 run that Skeens gave up was a Jared Kelenic leadoff home run. Jared Kelenic in the leadoff spot for the Braves entering Sunday. 5 home runs in 15 games, slashing 377, 418, 672. Think that guy likes leading off? Clearly something clicked for him in that spot, and he's loving it. And for him to get to Skeens, very impressive. Game 3, the Pirates take it 4-2, salvaged the series. Schwellenbach was good though in that one.
Yeah.
I want to say like the line I think is a little bit misleading. He
Yeah.
continues to, I think, put together some really good starts for the Braves. It's just been kind of finishing it. He hung 2 pitches. One of them was hit 117 miles per hour, 452 feet by O'Neill Cruz. Another one by Rowdy Tellez, who's been hot. But 7 Ks over 5. I continue to be impressed by Schwellenbach. But again, some big swings there for the Pirates to salvage it. Holderman and the bullpen were able to hold it down there, and you know that's the one win they get in that series. But O'Neill being O'Neill
Yeah.
and some young players doing good things, and of course just Uncle Charlie still reminding us that he can go out there and pitch well every once in a while, and still has the flashes of it this year.
Look at Rowdy Tellez, man. What do you think he gets on the open market? 5 for 120, 5 for 125.
If this was the NBA, sure.
Sure. Yeah. Patrick Williams back with my Bulls.
90.
90. Yeah. 4 years, 90. I remember the report going into the year that he wanted um, a 9-figure deal, and he didn't want the front number to be a 1. He wanted a $200 million deal. So I'm okay with him signing a $90 million contract. Pat Williams.
It sounds like a bargain to me.
God, dude, it's not.
NBA money is
Come on,
crazy.
man. This is brutal. I don't love where the Bulls are at, but that's a conversation for, I guess, a different place that isn't into a hot microphone. Skeens back-to-back starts where he has allowed 1 run, and it has come on a leadoff homer. Yandy Diaz, first pitch of the game, homered. After that, cruise control. Jared Kelnick, leadoff man, homered. After that, cruise control. So the first hitter of the game is Babe Ruth against Paul Skeens, is what I've got.
That's it. That's, I guess, and that's something I'm sure he's very aware of, being knowing how much of a perfectionist he is, and he's not going to try to get it over, I think, and get ahead early in the count or early in the ball games like he has. How about this Astros Mets series, man? I went to game 2. That was a really funny one to attend, but ultimately the Astros take 2 out of 3, kind of slow down the whole grimace thing a little bit. But I'd say the Mets bullpen did that more than anybody. Game 3 was kind of a shit show because you had a long rain delay. I think ended up finishing more than 6 hours from the first pitch there. But Mets took the first game 7-2, and we're like, oh my gosh, they're going to keep rolling here. They come out hot in game 2, and they end up taking a 6-1 lead. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they are just going to keep going here. They blitz Framber in game 2. And it just seemed like, oh my gosh, these bats will not slow down. That is somewhat true. But then they give up 8 unanswered runs after being up 6-1 in the 4th and end up losing that ball game. And then in game 3, the Astros were actually the ones that ended up squandering a 4-run lead. Rain delay. Basically, the Mets run out of pitching. Had to bring up a guy that they just called up, Matt Festa, because their best reliever is on the, I wouldn't say the shelf. He's suspended for 10 games. It really hurt them there. And they just kind of ran out of pitching. And ultimately the Astros win it in extras. But we had a game where in game 1, Tyrone Taylor, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, all homered. Love to see that. Francisco Alvarez continues to look impressive overall. And Trey Cabbage and Joey Loperfido coming up big in extra innings in game 3. That's always going to fire me up.
Yeah, you said "oh my gosh" a couple of times. Shouldn't it be "oh my god"? Did you?
Oh,
Yeah,
that song, dude, it was really funny to hear.
that song is like sneaky, really good from
I
Jose.
think they said they showed it on the big screen. Could have easily just been, making it up, but they said it was number 1 on the big screen on the Latin charts.
I could believe that if we're being honest.
Oh, he also performed it after game 1.
Yeah, on Friday night, and it was electric. The entire team joined him out there. These vibes are really good. Who would have thought that the 2024 New York Mets would be the vibes team of the National League? But hey, here's where we're at, man.
Here they are. Last but not least, Padres Red Sox, a really fun one. Something about the Padres and interleague play and in Fenway and so just the way that they're playing right now. This was a series that I gravitated towards more than some of the others. And the Padres take 2 out of 3. Padres blitz them in game 1, win 9-2. And I thought the most fun part about that was Jackson Merrill going deep.
Yes.
3-run shot to dead center. His mom, for whatever reason, is sitting 1,000 feet out there. Very cool that he hit it in her direction. And in his own words, that was the dopest moment of my baseball career so far. I agree. Going 407 dead central. He's on another planet right now. And I mean, Nick Pivetta just continues to hit a bit of a wall here. And this was a game that you'd think they had the pitching advantage, right? I mean, you had Randy Vasquez starting on the other side, who only went 4 innings because they really couldn't have him stretched out much further than that. And then it was bullpen beyond that. and they kept the Red Sox at bay. And again, just put up a lot of runs thanks to what they continue to get from Jackson Merrill, who to me looks like he could be that rookie of the year favorite all of a sudden with what he is doing. So that was a really fun game overall. And again, getting to Pivetta, and I think that's something that might be a theme here for the Red Sox if they want to try to keep this thing rolling. He's going to need to throw better. Game 2, more of the same. And this time they blitzed Tanner Houck, who's been far from the issue for them.
Yeah.
But 7 earned runs for Tanner Houck brings the ERA up to 2.67, which just is a reminder of how impressive he has been. Yeah. Padres win that one 11-1, though. Like, Machado is heating up. I saw a quote from him that was basically just, it sounded like he was just spitting out what was going on in his head, which is just like, I'm way too good for this. I'm way too good for this. I don't understand how I'm not performing this well. Like, I'm not even really messing up the quote that much. It was basically that I'm way too good. If I tear my elbow out there, I will do it. Whatever I need to do this. I think that is what a leader does, especially after Tatis goes down. Machado homers. Guess who else homers right after that? Jackson Merrill. Guess who homers after that? Machado again. And then Merrill just put the icing on the cake with a double in the 8th to make it 11-1. Merrill seems to love playing in Fenway Park. I don't know why they keep hitting him in the bottom half of the lineup. Mike King, another good start there. It's kind of Jekyll and Hyde with him, but 6 innings, 1 run. I think the big story here, though, was getting to Tanner Houck. Nobody's really done that so far this year.
I think so. I think Merrill is the other story that you just keyed in on perfectly. Like, this guy's hitting 294. He's pacing all qualified rookies. He's tied with Kauser for the rookie lead in homers with 12. He's leading all rookies with RBIs in 42. And he's, 4th among qualified rookies in OPS. Joey Ortiz leads all qualified rookies in OPS. And then you've got Wilyer Abreu, Michael Busch, Jackson Merrill. Colton Kauser rounds out the 5. So, like, this guy is one of the better rookies in all of Major League Baseball. And Rookie of the Year talk should curb because that Skeens guy is still going. Imanaga is still alive. And, like, listen, he's not getting blown up every time. And then Joey Ortiz, man, like, I do think that Joey Ortiz is ahead of Jackson Merrill at this point in Rookie of the Year conversations, but, like, not by much. It's very slim there.
2 homers and 7 hits in this series will absolutely help because guess what? Jackson Merrill did even in a loss, 4-1 in game 3. 3 more hits there and ended up scoring a run. But that was the one where the Red Sox were able to pick it up. Duran hit his 2nd homer of the series. He just continues to be amazing. Jarren Duran, all-star for me. I mean, what he's doing has been really amazing. He'll probably be a bench player, but again, just been really awesome. Devers gets one out on Waldron as well, who wasn't bad, but wasn't great. And that's going to happen some days with knuckleballers. Winkowski gives them 5 shutout. Really efficient, 5 innings, 58 pitches for the Red Sox. And then the bullpen's able to hold it down. They salvage the series, but Padres are 4 games over 500. The Red Sox are 5 games over 500. I think it's fun when both those teams are playing well. And again, just another really impressive series from the Padres.
I really enjoyed that weekend series. We're going to get to the back half of the weekend roundup, but before that, quick break. All right, where were you for the clash of titans on Sunday afternoon when the Rockies beat the White Sox 5-4 in 14 innings? 2 worst teams in baseball. We'll start with the Rockies and the White Sox. The White Sox win a series. I think it's their 2nd or 3rd series win all year, but they won this one 2-1. Game 1 went to the White Sox 5-3. Drew Thorpe, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, K'd 4 and walked 1. Game 2, 11-3 White Sox. King Cal Quantrill allowed 3 homers, including 470 feet at 112 from Luis Robert. Brendan Rodgers and Nolan Jones homered, but so did Lenyn Sosa. So did it really count? And then game 3, 5-4 in 14 innings. Garrett Crochet was awesome. Crochet, 7 innings, 2 runs, 11 Ks, no walks. I think he had a 6-pitch 7th. He went out there at 82 for the 7th, knowing he was on a pitch count, and then went 6 pitches. He got through 7 innings, 88 pitches, 69 for strikes. Garrett Crochet has made 18 starts. He's over 100 innings. 101 in the 3rd is just outside the top 10. He leads Major League Baseball in strikeouts. Somebody acquire this man. And the big thing for me was the Bob Nightingale report pregame that the White Sox tried to approach Crochet and his agents about a possible extension. The conversations were, quote, brief and, quote, no optimism on the team side. So they're going to move Crochet.
Oh, man. You know what's funny, though? I imagine that was for optics, right? Like, I'm going to go up to Crochet. Hey, you're leveraged 5 years of control, 4 years of control against you. Here's an extension offer we got. Lowball that shit out of him. He's going to say no. And then when you trade him, it's, hey, he wouldn't extend with us. Like we had to do it.
It's insane because, like, even if they offered him a king's ransom, Garrett Crochet is looking around the clubhouse and be like, how are we winning in the next 5 years? They're like, have you seen what's going on in Birmingham? Guys are pitching.
Hell yeah.
I mean, dude, I just can't do it. Did you have anything on this series? Like, it was a clunker.
I couldn't have ignored it more.
Wow, good on you, man. I was tapped in on Sunday actually, post game.
No, I am tapped in on Thorpe, and like it was nice to see him continue to throw better after the one bad outing. And guy can pitch, man. I'm excited to see him continue to just churn out quality starts. I think that's what he's going to keep doing.
I'm also back in on the White Sox because they decided like they needed a high leverage bullpen arm in terms of internal options. So you know who they turned to? It's like, you're going to be a high leverage bullpen arm that's a strikeout artist for us. Mike Soroka. It's insane. Soroka
exactly
played 6 in his like 3 innings. He's pitching like the 7th.
That's exactly what I look for is ground ball pitchers in high leverage.
It's absolutely insane. There's a reason they moved Bummer. Like crazy. And they got like the poor man's Bummer here. Chicago and Milwaukee, the Cubs in Milwaukee, and the Brewers win a series 2-1. Game 1 went to Milwaukee 4-2. Chorio with a grand slam. Seiya Suzuki also homered. Game 2 went to the Cubs 5-3. Michael Busch, a 2-run homer as the second hitter of the game. Hector Neris got his 100th career save. He's not a great closer option, especially for a team that has wild card hopes, but like those wild card hopes are slipping away with every series loss for the Cubs. And then game 3, 7-1 Milwaukee. It was all Milwaukee. The Cubs whopping 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. Kyle Hendricks, 3 2/3, 7 earned. Freddie Peralta, maybe his best start of the year, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run on a Nico solo shot, 8 Ks, and 1 walk. Freddie was good. And the Cubs, what do we do here?
I mean, we've talked enough about them. Poor Cubs fans that listen to this, like, I don't want them to like just stop listening to us because we just only shit on them. So I'll focus on the positives. Bryce Terang, man, I was a year early, I think, but he's everything that I thought he was going to be last year and more. 2 homers in the series.
I think so.
This guy's starting to slug now too. He's a menace on the base path. He's a great defender at second. I think he's. It's funny because I talked about him. My comp for him was Nico Horner, and here he is being better at Nico Horner than Nico Horner. So it was really fun watching those two, and Horner had a nice series overall, but it was fun watching those two, go at it indirectly as much as you can in baseball in the leadoff spot. And I mean, the Brewers just continue to play good ball, and it's just two teams trending in different directions.
We're going to 2 more teams in the National League Central. Reds, Cardinals. It was a 4-game set. They split it 2-2. Game 1 to Cincinnati, game 2 to St. Louis, game 3 to Cincinnati, game 4 to St. Louis. Game 1, Ellie and Noelvi Marte had 3 hit days apiece. Arenado and Steer homered. Miles Michaelis, I think opponents were hitting like $160 against him over his previous 9 starts. 4 1/3, 12 hits, 10 runs, 9 earned. So he got hammered. Andrew Abbott, again, horseshoe. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. He walked 6, scattered 6 walks, 5 innings, a 2-run ball.
I don't know what that guy did, and everyone's talked about it for now like a year and a half, almost 2 years now. Oh, how does he keep stranding these runners? He's gonna regress. I don't think so. I think he's got it. He's just got it. The one thing I have on especially on game 1, Santiago Espinal was DHing. There's no fucking way you don't have a better DH option. I'm sorry. Somebody. If you're going to play Santiago Espinal, it's got to be at a defensive position.
Yeah, because he's good out there.
What? DH?
I don't know.
So that's all I got on game 1. They scored 11 runs in a game that Santiago Espinal DH'd.
Yeah.
And he did have one hit on an infield single to shortstop.
That's pretty sick, though. Again, all due respect to Santiago Espinal, but like, what are we doing here? Game 2, St. Louis shuts out Cincinnati. It was a 1-0 win. Andre Palante got the start, 5 1/3 shutout. The St. Louis Pen, 3 2/3, no hits. Only base runner was a walk. Frankie Montas on the other side, 6 innings, 2 hits,
huge,
and 1 run. That was big.
Huge for them to have that bounce back from Montas. Nick Martinez continues to be a pretty good Swiss Army knife for them. Shuts the door. DH Santiago Espinal for 4 to bring that average down to 198 in this one.
Tell me he didn't DH game 3. It was a 9-4 Cincinnati win.
So game
I'll give you the
3,
rundown and you tell me if Espinal DH'd. Sonny
he
Gray.
did not. He did not DH.
Okay. Did he play?
He pinch hit for Nick Martini, went 0 for 3.
Okay. 9 for Cincinnati. They were the winners. Sonny Gray got kind of roughed up. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, 3 earned, with 6 runs against Sonny Gray. Carson Spires again. 6 innings, 1 run was on a Goldie homer, and Austin Wins. Reds Twitter, for some reason, loved the Saturday from Austin Wins. He had a 3-hit day. Backup catcher job is his in
Love it.
Cincinnati.
Love it. Jonathan India just continues to mash 2 hits in that one. And then there was one swing from Ellie De La Cruz where he swings over a breaking ball AB1. Next AB, he stays back on one, shoots it the other way. And it's like, okay, he's evolving, he's maturing, like he's making adjustments AB to AB. And I thought doing that against Sonny Gray was a great example. And impressive win. This team is Jekyll and Hyde, but I mean, then you look at the back half of this lineup and you can understand why that tends to happen.
Yeah. Game 4, 2-0 St. Louis. Lance Lynn, 6 shutout innings, 2 hits. He K'd 6. Ryan Helsley got his 30th save on the year. So that is how we got to the series split. Going out to the Bay, the Dodgers and the Giants. The Giants won this series at home, 2-1. Game 1, a walk-off homer from Brett Wisely against Blake Trinan, 5-3. San Francisco got the win. Luis Matos and Matt Chapman also homered. Andy Pages tripled. Logan Webb, 7 innings, a 2-run ball. Landon Knack, 4 2/3, 1 run, 7 Ks, no walks. They're going to keep churning out 5s, man. And Knack is the next 5 for them. Like,
he might be a 4. He looks like a 4. Like he looks good. He's flashing. I mean, he's not a 3, but he's flashing it right now. Like
Gavin
he's been
Stone's
awesome.
a borderline all-star, man. Like their previous 5 is pitching like an all-star, and now we've got like their 7 that's pitching like a 4 in Knack.
And these are old for prospects, older righties that like you figure there's not that much that's going to change. It continues to. Also, very disrespectful for you to gloss over Lance Lynn's 6 shutty. That guy's brought his ERA into the low
6
3s.
shutty.
That's very disrespectful of me to not listen to you saying Lance Lynn 6 shutty. No, I'll wear that one. But pretty crazy that Lance Lynn's got into the low 3s.
We're even after me saying I had 8 series and you have 7.
I think I have like a mental mute on Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, so I might just not resonate with me.
You also have it on me. Like, can we acknowledge that?
No, I knew that thing. I do an okay
Turn the
job.
volume down. You turn the volume. But like mute on Lance Lynn, volume down on me.
Yes. It's just sometimes it like cuts in and out.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Landon Knack's been good, man. 7 Ks is crazy in 4 2/3. And I mean, and that's doing it up against Logan Webb. I mean, if he's doing that for them, they're in a good spot. But I will say, Brett Wisely, I was watching that one live late at night. This is one where I got to give credit to Griffin Conine. He told me in Double-A when he played Brett Wisely when he's still at the Rays, he's like, dude, this Brett Wisely guy's going to be a big leaguer. And I'm like, I look at like his numbers and everything. I'm like,
no shot.
Okay, dude, whatever. Like, I think sometimes a guy just has a really good series against them and you get like a different viewpoint. No, he's 100% right. Wisely's been really impressive. I don't know if he should be their shortstop every day, but this is a big league bat. Came up huge again, 400-foot walk-off homer. He has been huge for them. He's keeping them afloat.
Their other option is Ahmed. And like, I'd rather go with Brett Wisely at this point than an older Ahmed.
So I'm good.
Yeah. Sign me up for that. Game 2, 14-7 Dodgers in 11, 6-6 through 9, 7-7 through 10, then a 7-run top of the 11th. Shohei Ohtani in the normal 9 innings had his 26th homer on the year. Miguel Rojas drove in 4. Tyler Glasnow, 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned. There were 16 pitchers used in this game. 9 by the Dodgers in 11 innings when they had Tyler Glasnow start, and 7 by the Giants when Eric Miller went 1 inning as the opener.
Like, yeah, you never want to go 11 innings when you have a bullpen game.
No, but like they did, and they somehow used less arms than the Dodgers, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. But again, that's baseball. And then game 3 here is when San Francisco won it 10-4 Giants. 6 Giants had multi-hit days in this one. Chapman homered for the second time on the weekend. James Paxton got battered. 4 innings, 12 hits, 9 earned. He had to wear it though because the Dodgers used 9 guys in 11 innings the night before that.
Giants hit lefties well, and like since I kind of said I'm out on them to bounce back out of this series that they've had. Ramos, another big game, 3 for 5. But I think seeing Chapman heating up is absolutely huge. Soler had a nice series. Like I mean, that's what can happen when those guys are going. I just don't have a ton of faith in that continuing, but I mean, you win a game where is it Spencer Bivens? Is it Bivens?
Yeah,
Bivens?
Bivens.
Bivens? Is it Spencer?
I think
Spencer,
it's
right?
Spencer. Yeah.
Yeah. Game started by Spencer Bivens
Bivens.
against James Paxton, and then you win that one, and then even being able to have them on the ropes in a bullpen game versus Tyler Glasnow, sending that into extras. It was an impressive series for the Giants, no doubt about it.
Spencer Bivens, if I'm not mistaken, indie ball for a couple of years. 30-year-old from Virginia Beach was in indie ball in 2022. He was a Gastonia honey hunter. Yep, there you
For
go.
him, I always love
And
those stories.
in 2020 and in 2021. So 3 years in indie ball, and he makes it out of that. So
Good for
hell of,
him.
hell of a story for that, man. Detroit and the Angels. It was a 3-1 Angels series win, 4-game set. Game one went to the Angels 5-0. It was a night game, so Shonowell played. Davis Daniel, 8 shutout, 8 Ks, no walks. Sano, Calhoun, and Rengifo homered. Game two, 5-2 LA. It was a night game, so Shonowell played. Logan O'Hoppe, go-ahead 3-run homer in the 8th. Zach Plesac, my guy, walked 4 in 2 2/3. Game three, 6-5 LA in 10 innings. O'Hoppe homered again, but Pilar had a walk-off single. And game four, it was a day game. Shonowell did play the day game. LA scored 5 in the bottom of the 9th to make it tight. Justin Henry Malloy had an inside the park homer and a brutal slide at home. We gotta ask him about like scale of 1 to 10, man. How
That
bad did
was
you feel? How
not
embarrassed were you?
not the best slide, but we'll take the homer. Mickey Moniak with just impressively low amount of effort there.
Yeah, very,
He
very low.
I will never understand how a player can misplay a ball in the outfield and then jog after it. Like I would be running faster than I've ever run because I just botched it. But it's that 1-1 energy a little bit, I guess, where I botched it. I'm just gonna jog after it.
Yeah, but
Inside the park homer, burn your pitcher. That is something that your pitcher has every right to show you up on. And I mean, it just that ended up being the difference of the game. Like that's the stuff. I think the Angels, I know they're only 10 games under. To me, they are listen to the names you just went through here. Like they are the biggest joke in Major League Baseball right now. They can't get out of their own way headlines wise.
they can't
They
get
already
out of
had that
bed.
problem.
They can't get
They
out
already
of
had that
bed.
problem. And then they hired Ron Washington. You have optics issues and you hire Ron Washington. Like he's going out of his way to give them optics issues. It's insane. They won the series 3-1, by the way. And that's more of a testament to how freaking miserable the Tigers are right now.
Yeah,
And it's been tough to watch from that lens. But man, like this Angels team, they are just a weird, frustrating watch. I'm glad Sano is off of the IL from the heating pack
yeah,
issue as well. Playing
yeah.
third, by the way, playing third base. I saw Rendon took some BP, so hopefully he wants to get out there. There's a legitimate like trend on this team of guys not wanting to play baseball. And
So,
and that's the thing I that stands out the most to me. Hans
so
Kraus, though, one scoreless, 2Ks.
there we go. Angels headlines of the week. Anthony Rendon is mulling over a rehab assignment, deciding if he wants to go play baseball to gear up to play baseball at the highest level. And then Thursday in Oakland, Angels have a 1 o'clock start. Is Shonowell going to get up in time? Like it's crazy to me. Ron Washington, again, optics nightmare, went out and said, yeah, he has trouble getting up for day games. He has trouble getting out of bed. So we're sitting him for day games. What?
You're a Major League
You're a
Baseball player.
major league
Wake up.
baseball player. The league minimum is $750,000.
And you got first round bonus money.
Drink some fucking coffee.
Like, yeah, like get it, if it's that bad, get an exemption and take Vyvanse. Like, figure it out. Do something. You can get an exemption from Major League Baseball if you have like a doctor's note, essentially. Last thing I'll say, like, uh, it imagine drafting a player from FAU, fast tracking him to the show, just to find out he can't wake up in time for day games. This team is the biggest laughing stock in baseball. It's not close.
It's hilarious, man. It's so funny. All right. Oakland and Arizona, 2-1. Arizona got the series win. Game one went Oakland's way. Arizona was up 4-3 after 7, but Oakland had a 3-run top of the 8th and a 3-run top of the 9th. 4 homers for the A's. Rooker, Langoliers, Soderstrom, and Daz Cameron. That's fun. Game two, 3-0 Arizona. This was Gallen's best start since coming off the shelf, and he's been fucking good since coming off the shelf. 6 one-hit shutout innings, K'd 7, walked 1, ERA to 2.83 through 12 starts. Oakland left 2 on base. They were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position, so utter domination from Gallen and the D-back bullpen. And then game 3, 5-1 Arizona. It was 1-1 at the stretch, but a 3-run seventh for Arizona. Brandon Pfaadt had a nice start, 6 innings, 1 run. He K'd 8. Gallen and Pfaadt, man, if they're pitching like this, I know nobody's out of it in the National League. It does feel like a lost season for Arizona, but this is something that you can take forward into 25, knowing that Gallen and Pfaadt are building good starts on top.
I mean, if they're building good starts, you can back your way back into this race too. Like realistically, as much as I don't like the way this team looks, like
and they proved last year that anything can happen if you get in.
Yeah, and so in the offense, I mean, a lot of these guys can't be worse. I'm trying to think. Luis Medina turning in a decent start is interesting. 6 innings of 1-run ball. That's fascinating. But I don't think I have much else to add other than that. But Zach Gallen being back is absolutely huge. And I mean, hopefully Arizona can get rolling here. I know it's not the toughest series, but you got to string them together, and you got to string together series wins, and they did just that, and they held the A's to 1 run over the last 2 games. That's the way they're going to have to win these ball games right now, with the way Corbin Carroll and Eugenio Suarez and some of these other guys are not hitting.
Yeah. 2 more series. We've got Minnesota and Seattle. Game 1 went to Seattle in 10. It was a walk-off fielder's choice, little dinker to the right side of the mound from Cal Raleigh. But Logan Gilbert, 2 earned in 6 innings. Bailey Ober, 1 earned in 6 innings, 9 Ks. I'll wear the L, even though Casey Mize gave us a shutout start on Sunday. Carlos Correa homered. Game 2, 5-1 Minnesota. Pablo Lopez, another good start. 6 innings, 1 run on a Haniger solo shot. He K'd 9. Byron Buxton had a 3-run homer. Pablo, like, it didn't sit right with him having an ERA in the high 5s, and like the last 2 starts have proven that it just wasn't right.
He has those cold stretches. It's been very, it's been a frequent thing through his career where like he'll just have a couple bad starts in a row, 4 or 5 even, and then he turns the page. I'll never be too worried about that guy. He always figures it out. Very smart pitcher. Not going to let himself, be bad for that long. And it's really cool to see him, throwing the way he's throwing again, because that's a big difference for the Twins. The fact that they're 9 games over, at that point of that game with him not throwing well to this point, like they're unlocking a lot more if they're getting true Pablo every 5th day moving forward.
Yeah. Game 3 went to Minnesota. This was a 5-3 win for the Twins, so they win the series. 5 2/3 for Joe Ryan. 1 earned run, struck out 10, didn't walk anyone. Luis Castillo, 6 hits, 3 earned, K'd 3 in 5 innings. Trevor Larnach homered. Shout out Trevor Larnach. But that was a good start for Ryan, who's got an ERA at 3.21.
And he got BABIP. It's like, it was crazy. Some of the things that were happening, the balls that were falling and things like that. Also, Luis Castillo struck out in that game. He took 3 pitches down the middle because Mitch Garver got hit with a pitch. Hopefully he's okay. Had to leave the game, burned the DH. So rare pitcher hitting situation. He was clearly told not to hit.
Yes, which stinks. Like, I would love to see a pitcher swing, but that's oblique 101.
Oblique City right there.
That's oblique City. Texas and Baltimore, last one that we got to go over. 4-game set. We're recording midway through Sunday Night Baseball right now, but game 1, Baltimore had already won the series. Game 1, 11-2 Baltimore, 4 homers. Cedric Mullins, Adley Rutschman, Colton Cowser, Heston Kjerstad, all homer. John Gray, who was so good to start the year, 8 earned in 5 innings, and Corbin Burns, you're probably AL Cy Young frontrunner, 7 innings. He scattered 9 hits, 1 run in 7 innings. No walks and 5 Ks.
I only have a few things to add, which will just be after game 3, so you can fly through it.
Game 2, 2-1 Baltimore. Cowser homered again. Albert Suarez, of all people, 6 shutout innings, 3 hits, 2 Ks, no walks. Albert Suarez has thrown 59 innings for the Baltimore Orioles, and he has a 2.43 ERA, because why not? Game 3, 6-5 Baltimore. Heston Kjerstad, a grand slam. Corey Seager homered. Adolis Garcia had his 2nd homer of the weekend. And as it stands right now in Sunday Night Baseball, it is 8-2 Texas. They will salvage, avoid the mop in the top of the 5th inning. Who did they jump on tonight? Cole Irvin? Heaney. Yeah, Irvin, 3 2/3, 5 earned. Vespi, 3 earned out of the pen. And they have gotten homers from Derek Hill, 2 of them, and a Wyatt Langford triple.
All I'm gonna say is I think I'm just imagining when DeGrom comes back, it's gonna be like that Chris Paul meme where it's like, yeah, Chris Paul hits the three to cut the deficit to 32 or whatever the hell it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's getting away from him real quick in Texas. You can't blame them totally. I think they've had a lot of bad luck, but it's getting away from them very, very quick.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this conversation that you're about to hear from Davis Schneider. But I was at the Meyer in Carmel, Indiana, and I saw 2 Bowman mega boxes. So we're going to do that off cam. But I've got the pack of 10 cards and the pack of 5 cards here with the white. Which one do you want me to break right now?
Ooh, go with the one with the 5 cards. That's always
This
better.
one? This one, the 5 one? All right, I'm opening. Can you hear this? Is it like card ASMR right now? Okay, let's see.
Those are the like special packs. They're supposed to be really good.
Yeah, fun chrome looking Endy Rodriguez rookie.
That's nice. They'll
That's
all look fun chrome in there.
all fun chrome. Okay. George Wolko first, Bowman first. There
Ooh,
you go.
that guy's hitting balls 116 and he's 18 years old.
He is killing Downers Grove North kid, I think. Chicagoland, stand up. Prospect power up Dylan Cruz.
Ooh, that's actually a nice one. That's a nice
Okay.
one. It's an insert, but it's nice.
Aiden Smith, Bowman first.
Ooh, okay.
Is that cool? That looks cool. And then Felix Morabel,
I don't
Angels,
really know
Bowman
much about him,
first.
but
I don't know who
I'll
that
take
is.
that. Not a bad pack.
That's a pretty good pack. All right, here's Davis Schneider. Before that, quick break.